Hello YouTubers, Chilios here with your M&P series, or I guess M series it looks like, 2.0 of the M&P knives. This is one right here. Nice little flipper. This has got your pocket clip on the back. Not sure exactly what model this is. I can zoom in for you. There's a lot of different Smith and Wesson knives. They actually had a really nice Black Friday special. Maybe you can see it there. But you'll see these on their website. That's your basic M&P. Nice little knife. It's got the quick open. Actually, this isn't a quick open. Oh, yes, it is. There we go. See, I know what's going on here. I've got a few of these guys, so bear with me. That's your quick open. When you're not up against the table. Nice little knife. That's your lock on the inside. Let me get some light on this so you can see. There's your internal lock. These just have that little crossbar spring lock. Now, this looked like it was a lanyard hole, but it's really nothing on the end. You can see that one there. That's your first one. Smith and Wesson M&P. Second one is Tanto style. Special Ops, I guess. Hopefully you can see your model number on there. Honestly, don't know if that's a model number. This does have a lanyard attachment or provision for it. You can open it with this button here on both sides. Again, it's got the pocket clip. And then the quick open, I'll show you that. These actually open pretty nicely, pretty quickly. I can do it a little bit better, a little bit quicker than that. But I'm working, you know, behind the camera here. And this has the serrated. So you can see that's got the serrated. Hopefully I'm showing you the differences here. You'll see these on their webpage. Smith and Wesson, they've got a bunch of different, they've got like protective eyewear. Eyewear is actually really nice. I do like that. And it does meet the safety standards. These I don't think meet any particular standard. There's your crossbar lock. Hopefully you can see that right there. I'm not a huge fan of these type locks just because you have to put your finger in front of the blade to get it closed, and I know. Just don't be stupid, right, and cut your finger. But messing with knives, get your fingers cut. So that's that one. And then compare the two. That's this guy right here. I kind of like this blade right here, actually. And then compare that to the Tanto. Here, I'll try to do it a little bit quicker for you there. There we go. So both really easy to open, quick to open. This one's a little more heavy duty, actually. And you've got that compared to this guy. So that's your Tanto. That's your regular style. And then one more for you. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if this one's different, actually. Nope. I got two of those. So yeah, I did like this style. That's your M&P. And then I have one fixed blade. This is actually really, really heavy duty, this thing. I've seen some guys review this piece. That's your lanyard hole. You can see you've got your, I think those are called bolsters. I may be wrong about that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Really don't cut yourself with this one. This one came pretty sharp out of the box. Out of the clam pack, rather. That's your 24/7. You can see it's full tank construction. Nice knives. Sorry, Smith and Wesson, maybe you can see it better there. Try not to cut myself anymore today. Try to steer away from that. I was messing with a ladder this morning, but hey, you know, you got to do what you got to do. That's your Smith. Okay, there's your numbers. Maybe you can see that on there. Sorry, let me get a better light on there. There we go. 11478200121. That's on the Tanto. This light's a little over bright, I apologize. But that's your blade comparatively. Actually stood there nice for a second. Alright, so that's your 24/7 Tanto. This is the sheath. Sheath is nice. That's your clip. It looks like all these screws are kind of similar on the different pieces. And you got this guy right here. Again, try not to cut myself when I'm messing with these blades. They are pretty sharp. This guy right here is... You guys might be able to see that better than I can. $10.22 looks like the last four. That's probably a decent view of it. And then you got the Tanto. Not sure if I saw a code on here. Yeah, maybe there is not a code on here. Interesting. Nice blade though. So yeah, Smith and Wesson equipment. Pretty nice. I'll show you some different locks. I'll put these away here. Special ops. Oh, there we go. There's the number. I was looking in the wrong spot for it. Figure it out, right? Get some light on that. Let's try some magnification. There we go. Looks like we're at the right distance now. 1148000 1221. So again, that's your Smith and Wesson. That's the folder Tanto. And these have a, I think that's called a liner lock. You can see it's kind of, I guess, stippled on the inside. That's the right word. It's got kind of a raised portion there. I don't know if you can see that bump. Get some light in there. Get a little bump in there. It's on this metal lock piece that's on the inside, and they've put grooves in there so you can get to it a little easier. And that closes down. I like this because it's got the protective piece here. I thought that was kind of smart with the Tanto. For your fingers, that's a good idea. Then this guy. Again, that's the 108-5912-1022. That's a cool number, 1022. This, I think, is just marked 24/7, but now that I'm looking at that closer with the camera, look at that. (1147-820-0121). That's a nice piece. That's a really nice piece right there. And back that off a little bit, the camera. Smith and Wesson Tanto blade. I'd probably go with that one. Full tang. Really nice piece of steel. You can probably see all the specs on their website. Just be careful when you put that back in. That locks in like that. Locks in tight too. I mean, I'm holding it upside down so it's not falling out. And again, it's got the lanyard hole right there. So I've got some different locks that I happen to like. This is a basic China knife, and it's got this back lock, which is this you can get to without jeopardizing your fingers. I think that's kind of cool. Inexpensive knife, but it locks in nicely. So I kind of like that design. This is an older Smith and Wesson cutting horse. Good little serrated blade on these. Plastic got kind of worn over time, but it's a good little utility knife. I don't know if they make these anymore. Hammer forged China. So that's your true like serrated. It's kind of useful. It's got the ability to grab onto something because it's hooked, the blade. Then this has, look at that. That's a Smith and Wesson, but it's got the back lock here. So a little more accessible. I don't know why they went to the liner locks, honestly. But that's the old school Smith and Wesson right there. One of them anyway. These are your cheap razor blade type knife. These are useful. You know, you got to have a few of these for jobs. And the release is just right here. That releases out your blade. I'll show you that. If I can get it to go. There's sometimes stubborn, a little budgy. But yeah, you push it down. Sometimes you got to hit both sides. And then this is just easy. You don't have to worry about, what's the word? Sharpening. You do have to worry about getting these back in because, like I said, they're a bit budgy. You can see the release, actually. See that release up top? I don't know if you can see that. You got to get both fingers on the sides. You can see that little piece of metal come up right there. Let's get a better view on that for you. So now you can really see. You got to hit both sides at once to unlock that. And that's what gets your razor blade. Sorry, I got to take it off cam because I got to slide it off the edge of the table to get a good grip on it. That goes in. Got to wiggle it, make sure it's seated. And then this has the liner lock, but this is not a Smith and Wesson that I know of. Super knife. Super knife. There's many of these different ones out on the market. Many different styles. A lot are better than others, but this is very inexpensive. Surprised it's still actually holding together. One of my favorites right here. This is SOG. I believe this is not a quick to deploy. This has the little thumb stud. Sorry, looking for words here. But that's your SOG, and the reason I like this is, well, look how pointy this thing is. And then it's got a false edge. You could actually sharpen that, I believe. These are real sharp too. This has a nice recovery because you just push down on this. Real solid. Real solid little knife. The SOGs. Costs more money, but you can feel the weight of that knife. You know, that thing's built pretty well. And this is actually held up. Hasn't come apart. Another favorite. That's a CRKT. And I do like, look at that thumb stud. That was thoughtful. So you can actually, way easier to get that thumb stud the way that it's oriented. Now this is an older blade, but they're still making this design. You get the half serrated. These are sharp too. And this was a Crawford design with his point guard with the US patent. And not China, but these are Taiwan. You can actually see the numbers on them a little easier. Again, it's got the pocket clip. You can get rid of these if you don't like the clips, or if you're putting them in a pouch. These just come right off. A lot of times these screws come loose. You gotta Loctite them. This has a nice safety right there. So with the safety on, off right here, and then safety on. So away from, you know, as you're holding it to cut. So now that the safety's engaged, I should say. Now you see the liner lock. Can't move it. This simply won't budge, which is nice. Disengage the safety up top. Pull it back towards you. And then you can get this bar out of the way and close it up. Hopefully not on your fingers like I do while I'm making these videos. So yeah, again, really the point of the video was to show these Smith and Wesson knives. Decent. Really nice, this Tanto one. I'd recommend you get that one. You know, if you like a fixed blade. Again, a lot of videos out on this one. And then second favorite is going to be this Tanto. That's thick design. Good thumb studs, good quick release. Not a huge fan of the little bar, but again, it's got the bump, so I think it's got some lock factor on the inside. Again, these aren't super expensive knives, but. And then I do like this style right here, Smith and Wesson M&P. That's the 2.0. Clip's it's a little thin, but it's strong. I mean, it seems strong anyway. Doesn't have a lot of give to it. So that's it. Thank you guys. Maglite was the illuminator. These have come in handy. Please like and subscribe. Get yourself some Smith and Wesson knives. M&P series. YouTube out.